Hello Collision fans to Under the Scarescope. I'm Fedora, and today we're going to be talking about a Wes Craven production under the name The Breed. On first glance, this is just your basic mutated slash larger than usual animal movie, and it is. Basically you got this group of nameless random teenagers who don't have any character to them whatsoever and are basically simply defined by their stereotypes, going on some random stereotypical holiday to a random stereotypical deserted island where they plan to do random stereotypical teenage things. The story of the movie, I use that term very loosely, revolves around this seeing eye dog facility that was apparently on the island but was shut down after some crazy outburst of rabies made all the dog crazy, and then the people had to put all the dogs down. Once these teenagers arrive on the island though, they discover that apparently not all of the dogs were put down, and a large portion of them are still running around causing mayhem and bloody havoc. When one of the teenagers gets bitten by one of the dogs, we're introduced into the rabies category itself. And to be honest, I didn't find it all that threatening, mainly due to because when a person contracts this rabies, it doesn't really seem to do anything to them. They just sort of stare off into space for a while. It didn't really seem to have any negative impact. Before I get too negative, let me get into the actual pros and cons. As far as pros go, I'm going to give some major props to one thing. The one thing that I think saved this movie from absolute obscurity. And that is the fact that they actually used real dogs. They spent the time to train these dogs, very well I'll point out, to actually be monsters in this movie. They could have taken the easy route by using CG, but they didn't. And for that reason, I'm going to give them a little bit of props. And I can see why Wes Craven may have put his name onto this. Because the director was up and coming, it was his debut movie, he wanted to get into the horror genre. Wes Craven, being a very obviously famous horror director himself, having loads of terrific movies under his belt, decided to give him a hand, so he put his name on the cover to get them a little revenue. And I respect that. But if we're going to be critical here, and let's be honest, it's my job, negative-wise, okay. Excluding everything I've already mentioned, acting is terrible, the characters are completely dull and unlikable, the music is dull, the setting is dull, the story is vague, the dog's motivations, and it's all unexplained and dull and boring, and it's not a good movie. So with that very cheery and short review out of the way, I'm Fedora, and this is Under the Scarescope. Check out some of the other channels at Collision, or check out my channel at Splat in the Hat 1. So, we'll see you next time.